Hello, guys, and welcome to NFTCON. And this is going to be a fireside chat with Benjamin from Jenny DAO. Welcome, Benjamin.
Hey, Michael, what's up, man?
Hey, hey. So we're going to be talking about arts, NFTs, and DAOs today. So I kind of wanted to kick off with introductions, a little bit about me, and then a little bit about Benjamin. So for us, I'm the co-founder of NFTCON. The reason that we created NFTCON is to make it to where people are able to get the information that um, get all the information in one place, and just learn more about NFTs and start building within the space.
Cool. So my name is Benjamin Rameau. I am the founder of Jenny DAO. Jenny DAO buys up a bunch of NFTs and fractionalizes them on a platform called Uniquely. We're also contributors to the Uniquely fractionalization platform. I'm also chairman of Start Art Gallery, which is the first physical bricks and mortar NFT gallery in Asia, possibly in the world. It's definitely one of the first permanent galleries. And that's at K11 in Hong Kong. If any of you guys are in the neighborhood, DM me and I'll be very happy to give you a private visit. In a previous life, I was one of the original founding members of Binance Labs. I was the employee number 3 over there, employee number 150 at Binance. But that was a long time ago. I left a year and a half ago, and since then I've been building NFT infrastructure.
Excellent. Welcome to have you on. And
Thank you.
I guess we're gonna go ahead and dive into like some of the first topics. I'm curious about Jenny DAO. Like, why did you guys choose the Jenny stamp, the inverted 24-cent Jenny stamp as the name?
Yeah, it's a question that comes up quite a bit. For me, I think the Jenny stamp means a lot because stamps were a very large collectible for a long time. They're less in fashion now, but for a long time, they were the biggest collectible. And every collectible is special because it's rare and different. And the inverted Jenny is even more special than other collectibles because there was an error in the printing. So back in the days where every color had to be done through a new printing process, somebody messed it up and flipped the paper upside down, and you ended up having the price, all the rest printed the right side up, and the plane was flipped upside down. And collectibles are special to us because they've got some kind of rarity, and that's particularly relevant to the NFT space. So I like that concept. The other concept I like a lot is that it's named after a female name. And I think that NFTs have really brought a lot more diversity to the crypto space. You know, when we were in this space, honestly, not that long ago, I was going to say 5 years ago, but even 2 years ago, it was really male dominated, people in their 20s, a lot of geeks, and the whole demographic of the crypto space has changed a lot thanks to NFTs, and that's a very good thing. So if you used to go to an NFT conference or NFT event a year ago, you'd recognize 80% of the people. If you go to an NFT event now, you recognize 20% of the people, and a whole new wave of very creative, artistic talent has come in. I just came back from the Hong Kong digital art fair where there were children running all over the place, and this would have been unimaginable just a year ago. So I think having a female name representing the DAO also is something that I found very attractive to the stamp.
Mhm. And then also speaking of like artists as well, it's like we're starting to see a lot more artists like enter into the space. And I think I kind of want to ask you, it's like, what do you think the current issues of like the NFT, well, what are the current issues with like the art industry that is making artists come into the NFT industry? Because like in the beginning, it was kind of like we didn't have a lot of artists, and even like a few years ago too, people were like, what are NFTs? But now it's like every artist knows about an NFT, and they're looking or already creating a way to like enter into the space.
Sure. The cynical view is money. You show me the incentive, I'll show you the result. I think when Beeple struck $69 million for his NFT, you started getting a lot of interest. But that's a cynical view, and it doesn't represent everybody. I'll take the example of street art, which I think marries itself very well uh, with the whole crypto NFT art theme. So I love street art, and I would like to see a lot more of it. And we don't see very much of it because, for one thing, the buildings that they paint on are often old and get torn down, or the police or municipality will come and paint them over. So they've got a very short lifespan. But also, artists are just not compensated for creating this public good. And our cities would be a lot more beautiful if we had more street art. Um, but if you don't pay the artists to do it, they'll be more incentivized to be painting on canvases that hang in rich people's living rooms that they can show off to the guests. Um, and thanks to NFTs, now you've got the ability to create both a vanity product, which people can show on their OpenSea profile or on their PFP, and a public good, which everybody can enjoy. And there's one crypto artist in particular, based in Paris, called P-Boy, who has been really one of the first crypto artists out there. And he does exactly that. He paints in the streets. He takes pictures of it, makes some kind of either small animation or a hidden message inside the picture where you have a hidden Bitcoin wallet that you can open up, and then sells it on OpenSea. And what you end up having is a vanity product which subsidizes a good that everybody can enjoy. And I think that makes society a better place. I think historically, if you look at Renaissance, you had a similar concept where you had the Medicis who would be patron of the arts and would commission artists to put their own faces on biblical scenes. And now, thanks to this vanity good that the Medicis wanted to have for their own personal benefit, you end up having works of art which everybody can enjoy. And if you look at the Sistine Chapel now, it's something that millions of people are still able to enjoy to this day. And I think through NFTs, it really opens up all kinds of new opportunities for artists to come and to share their work, and to society to benefit from it.
Mhm. And also like with that as well, it's like I didn't think of like the street art side. Literally like a lot of these cities would just literally just paint over them. Kind of that art is then vanished. Like with having the blockchain, it can technically live on forever, even if this piece is painted over and that like it still lives on the blockchain. And
Exactly.
that's really great to make it to where it's like unless the blockchain goes down, which I don't think ever is going to happen, but you know also another thing as well, I kind of wanted to dive a little bit into like the DAO side of it. So like with DAOs now being formed to like collect these collectibles, these NFTs and these art pieces, it's like, do you think this would lead to some of them being like gatekeepers of specific types of artwork?
So first of all, the having a DAO working with NFTs it works very well together, because thanks to blockchain, you're able to have communities um, revolving around art pieces, uh, which was very different from somebody in the past privately buying a Picasso and hanging in his living room. Um, Maybe for his own personal benefit, it's very rewarding, but you don't really get the same kind of communities which are built as you do right now with NFTs. And having DAOs own and manage NFTs brings community management to a whole new level. Not only are they orbiting this art piece, they're actually actively involved in the management of the asset. And this really has never been done before, and I think it has a way to not only reshape the art space, but really to reshape society as a whole. As far as being gatekeepers, um, I run a DAO. I definitely try not to be a gatekeeper. I think that it should be a community decision as to what we buy and eventually how we dissolve the DAO. But being part of the DAO itself is a sign of a stamp of approval from the community towards the artist. And with Jenny DAO, what we've seen is that not only are artists very happy to have their art sold to the DAO, but they're even willing to make commissioned art specifically for the Jenny DAO. And so we've had Steve Aoki and Blau who have made a custom-made song called the Jenny Song. We've had Sarah Zucker make a Jenny replica of the stamp with a woman with a cigar with the airplane in the background. And we've had XOR take some code, open source code, and shape it in the shape of an airplane. And we've had a few of these where not only do you get participation from the community, which give a stamp of approval to the artist, but really the artists themselves who come and cater to the desires of the community. And I think for all these reasons, DAOs can really can have a very big role in helping artists get their message across and to access communities and to gain popularity.
Yeah, kind of like also for that too, it's like another aspect of it is like fractalization. Like you're basically able to own let's say like the DAO has 100 members and you're one part of the DAO, you own 1/100th of whatever that fund collects.
Fractionalization is a very exciting space. Just generally, NFTs don't have enough infrastructure. So I think NFTs will very rapidly become a $1 trillion market cap asset class. But just like crypto in 2017, there wasn't the infrastructure back then to support a $1 trillion market cap. And you saw during the bear market, 2018, 2019, people built DeFi. And you had all the stuff that people love doing nowadays with yield farming, yield aggregating, collateralization, lending, borrowing, rehypothecation, all these kind of things, which now build a much stronger system than you had back in 2017, is much more resilient to crashes, and really gave a new life, which helps to have a second wave in crypto, which is much bigger than the first. NFTs don't really have that yet because the infrastructure is still very mature. And I think it's going to take a lot of hits and misses before we reach a $1 trillion market cap for NFTs. But we are getting there. And the basis of infrastructure in NFTs will all be fractionalization. Once you get fractionalization right and liquidity, then everything else they have in DeFi is going to be possible in the NFT space. Now, for the reason why fractionalization is very interesting for DAOs and for NFTs is that once you fractionalize an asset and those shards, those fractions have some kind of governance rights over the collection, then you're effectively creating your own sub-DAO. And all the owners of that shard, as long as the construct is done properly, will be able to manage the assets themselves and use their voice through the governance rules to influence the outcome. And this is really what DAOs should be. I think DAOs is really an overused term in general. Often they're AOs, they're not DAOs because they're anything but decentralized. And a lot of them are fluffy because they don't actually have any real assets backing them. With fractionalized DAO, with DAOs backed by fractionalized assets, you've actually got real people with a real stake in the game. And this is going to take the whole concept of decentralized organizations to the next level.
Yeah, and I think like I like how you say there's not that much decentralization right now. Like I think like for DAOs, like it will take some time to kind of like work out all the kinks, especially with like we're building the infrastructure right now. Like you guys are building the infrastructure and kind of like paving the way. Like I remember back in like 2018 when we were at the blockchain gaming stage at E3, we had one of the first E3 blockchain gaming stages, and they're like, what are NFTs? And like full circle now, like if you ask anyone around you, it's like, do you know what an NFT is? They might not know what crypto is, but they will know what an NFT is.
Yeah, it's you've got a whole new population coming in, and you're going to find that NFTs is going to be the #1 ramp into the crypto space.
Yeah, because we're also seeing like NFTs being integrated into DeFi too. So it's the use cases for all the types are completely like there's so many use cases for NFTs, and like we're just barely scratching the surface. Like think of it as if you're collecting a piece, And let's say, for example, the metadata changes over time. So whether like the piece would show like a moon in the background, but during certain times it would show, a sun or something. And like that could also make it to where like even with like Bored Apes, they're coming out with like an ERC20 token. So like I think that creating these communities together for a common purpose of collecting NFTs or even participating in it just makes it to where they can enter into a group that's similar focuses, but also have stake in the game as well. So I kind of wanted to ask you, it's like, what do you think? What do you see for like the future of DAOs and kind of like the supporters that are within like NFT art for DAOs as well?
Um, so the future of DAOs, DAOs is really going to reshape society because if you look at the Jenny DAO, for example, having the concept where anybody can make a proposal and anybody with a token can vote and have an impact on the outcome is really something that even the most forward-thinking democracies have not come up with. You don't have these layers of representatives of the community through assemblies, through parliaments, who are sort of the voice of the people who act on their behalf. Here, you really have people using their own tokens in order to influence the outcome, and it's going to reshape, first the metaverse. I think the metaverse will be organized in a democratic environment like we've never really seen in the real world, and eventually, I think will be. I think a lot of these concepts eventually will be drawn back into the real world. So I think that in terms of empowerment for people, I think it's all a very positive step. Um, for NFT art in general, if you look at the Uniquely platform, every fractionalized token is basically its own DAO. Some are more decentralized than others, but they are at least they all get the check mark for AO, and the best ones among them also have the D in them. And you have a multi-layered. You end up with a multi-layered DAO structure where you've got owners of fractionalized assets who control a collection of NFTs, who receive farming rewards for the whole entire platform, which is Uniquely through the unique token. And Uniquely itself is managed like a DAO, where people use their unique tokens to vote on various proposals. And so it almost becomes like playing 3D chess, but you've got people who are incentivized in contributing and in participating at really every level of the at every level along the way.
And then for the proposals, do you guys have it to where, let's say that the community sees a certain piece that they want to have added to the collection, are they able to vote on it, and then the DAO kind of confirms, and then the DAO would bid on that? Like, let's say if it's an upcoming drop that has like a 24-hour time window or anything.
So there are some upsides and downsides to having DAO. In our model, because we're as decentralized as possible, I don't control the funds. The funds are in a multi-sig where me and my founding partner only have a minority of signatures, and we need help from the community in order to unlock those funds. The proposals in general are made by the community. I've made very few proposals myself, and I own lots of Jenny tokens because I'm a strong believer in the project. But I try not to use my tokens for voting because I don't want it to swing the votes. I want the community to really have its own voice. So the good thing is that we end up with ideas which I would never have thought of myself. Just recently, we bought a Nouns. I think Noun shares a lot of the same philosophy as Jenny DAO, because it is an asset-backed DAO where there's actually people have a real skin in the game. But it is also has disadvantages. So Noun, for example, I didn't come with myself. It was really a proposal from the community. But there have been times, for example, where we gave a heads up through a vote that we were going to come up with a purchase. This came up with Nifty Island, and somebody else heard about this and because we were going to get a good deal, outbid us very quickly and offered a higher price. And the
Mhm.
seller had actually locked in a price for us, assuming that the vote would go through. And when somebody else came up with a higher price, he gave up on our offer and went for the higher price for a very small difference, which was very disappointing, but also highlights some of the weaknesses that the DAO model has. When you get too many people involved, it's very difficult to keep secret.
Mhm.
Um, for auctions, also, it's very difficult. You're not going to get a good price in auction when you already tell ahead of time how much you're willing to pay. Uh, the chances are you might get the worst price. So I think in terms of idea generation, in terms of finding the newest, hottest ideas, getting input from some of the leaders in the NFT community does help a lot. In terms of flexibility, though, I think just like any democratic process where people have to debate over the outcome, you do have some sacrifices.
Mhm. Yeah, it's kind of. I'm just thinking about it now. Having a proposal for one of the pieces, and then all of a sudden, someone just outbids you by like zero point 0.1 ETH or something, and then the artist
Yes.
accepts it. But yeah, so we're starting to get to like the wrap up moment right here, and Benjamin, I kind of wanted to ask you like one final question. Is like where would they be able to find out more about Jenny DAO, and how would they be able to start participating as well?
Sure. So the easiest way to start is on Twitter with Jenny Metaverse. Um, the Where the action really takes place is on Discord. So there's two layers on Discord. There's the Discord that anybody can join, and then there's the Discord for the members. And all the real debates happen in the secret Discord. To access the secret Discord, you need to buy at least one Jenny token. Why one Jenny? Because we want to make it as accessible as possible. But if you prove that you own at least one Jenny token through your MetaMask, then you're able to access the private chats, and there you can see how we debate. So you can make your own proposals, and you can make your own votes to try to decide what the DAO should be buying.
Excellent. Thank you, Benjamin, for taking your time out today and joining us today, and also for everyone as well. Um, start looking into like a lot of these DAOs, because like for NFTs, like I think the future of it is like a lot of these communities are really helping artists and really paving the way for you to enter into the space a little bit more efficiently as well. All right. So yeah, thank you, Benjamin, and we look forward to hearing about future updates about Jenny DAO.
Thanks a lot, Michael. See you around.
Thank you.